get up and down the field. It's the Falcons going up against the Broncos. With that, we'll send it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call in this Week 5 matchup.
Okay, Larry, we are located a couple miles west of the Colorado State Capitol building here in downtown Denver. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. And here's a look at the starting offense. So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. Time running out here on the play clock. They will run again with Coleman. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down. And here's a look at the defense for Denver.
Terrence Knighton's nickname, Pot Roast, was given to him, and he didn't like it at first. Now he says, don't call me Terrence. Holds down the middle against anyone trying to run the football.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Tannehill. He's got his man on the crossing route. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he will find his man on the outside. 11 yards for number 11.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
This is Coleman. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. Curtis Lofton there for the tackle.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. Tackle made by Deshaun Shedd. So they run it on 2nd down. Now let's see what 3rd down brings here for the offense. 380. Play clock winding down. Here's Tannehill finding time. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
And right now I take my rudimentary kindergarten skills and draw where the tackle box would be because that was close. I thought he was in the tackle box. He has to be very careful where he gets rid of the football from that spot.
Yeah, they say there was a receiver in the area, though.
Yeah. There's always a receiver in the area.
So, of course, they wanted to find the end zone, but when you go on the road and your first drive results in points, I think you're pretty happy.
You have to be because you've taken it to the home team in this case. And while you may not have shut up the home crowd, you've quieted them down a little bit. Good way to start.
So here are the defending Super Bowl champion Broncos on offense now. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback. throwing here on trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
1st down and 10 now for the offensive group.
We got three, fellas. We got three. Set 3.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Jennings. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Here's Jennings. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Rashad Jennings, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. They go back to the air here after the INT. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
1 quarter in the books. Plenty of scoring here already. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Shoulders were made for greatness, not dandruff.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a 1st down. Gurley again here on 1st down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't...
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Grady Jarrett, he's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football and not take the sack. when to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
Here comes the defensive unit now for the Broncos as they get set here. And despite being down on the scoreboard, this unit, they've had some big-time hits.
Sort of like us at practice the other day. I saw you take a running start at that blocking sled. You took it down.
Bounced off like a rubber band.
No, not at all, but you're exactly right. They are doing their job, but they want to add takeaways to it. You need to have more of those to go along with the big hits we're seeing.
By the way, when I tried that and I bounced back, I noticed that you laughed with everyone else. You didn't try to get in my corner.
No. Someone had just told me a joke on the other side.
Right,
I missed that. Totally missed it.
See if they stay on the ground for second down.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time. I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership? A big-time run combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing that the ins and outs of being a veteran still has his place in this league. His odometer is not totally turned over yet.
Jennings. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more.
Charles Johnson's stock in trade is coming off the edge and getting to the quarterback. He knows how to make some of those subtle moves inside to help in the run game, and he did it right there.
He's an athlete back in high school, played football, basketball, track, so he's a mobile guy.
Mobile guy, made a nice play against the run.
And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Larry Ridley in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Tannehill on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And they thought they could exploit this defense with some really quick hitters, quick action. They worked on that in practice. We just saw it there.
And we saw them break it down to the fundamentals as well. Each position group had their own little work on it. You know, they worked on a drill here with the receivers, a drill there with the quarterbacks. Then they brought it all together, and now it's paying off in the game.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
And he comes back with 1 complete. 8 yards there and a 1st down.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it, now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. On 2nd and 10, Tannehill. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play.
Hey, you got three.
To the air again, Tannehill. And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone. Percy Harvin, the intended receiver there, and now it's second down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout. And now we're set to get going.
Wide 20.
They'll try to run now with Jennings. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have two remaining here before we get to halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And the kick for the 41-year-old is up and good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So a 15-play drive. Can't believe that only resulted in 3, but it did.
That is somewhat amazing, isn't it? When you hold the ball that long, run offense that well, yet only put 3 points on the board, it has to be a little bit of a disappointment, doesn't it?
Has to. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. The left side completion to Jones. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. And they're going to speed things up here. On first down, he'll drop to throw.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got some space here. Rashad Jennings, he's all alone. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And he's got it up and through. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Larry Ridley. He's standing by with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Broncos really played well last week, but that hasn't always been the case today. The Falcons have done a good job upsetting their rhythm, and that shows on the scoreboard. All right, let's roll those highlights. Early in quarter one, middle of the field, the pass will be caught, and the play will come to an end after a gain of 10. Unfortunately, they would have to settle for just a field goal. Midway through the first, the pass ends up being picked off. Wilson's the one who makes the pick to give a boost to his defense. offense out now following the interception. Jennings going to take off here, and he'll take it in for the touch. The Falcons push the lead to 10. Falcons come out on 3rd and 4. Tannehill's going to complete the pass from the gun, and he ends up at the 44-yard line before he stopped. They go on to kick a field goal to end the drive. They have it right at midfield. Jennings going to bust out into open space, and he'd go in for the 50-yard touchdown. Falcons lead balloons to 20.
All right, Larry, indeed a one-sided affair to this point as we get set for half two. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case...
And Gurley fumbled it. Gurley fumbles the football. It's loose. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it, and somehow...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys. The
completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth. Here's Brad Wing now, standing just outside his own goal line.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and it'll be Falcon football as they take possession. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. So the offense has it 1st and 10.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
To throw is Tannehill. The veteran Jeremy Maclin was the intended target. That'll bring up second down. This is Jennings. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Calling no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
That was a terrific job by the defense, stopping them on 3rd and short. But sometimes you get some visual cues from the offense because when they're going in short yard situations, you might see the offensive line come in tighter together, a little more shoulder to shoulder, trying to wedge a hole in the middle. They didn't get it done on that play.
So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. So the Broncos coming out now. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Four down, four down. All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On play action, they'll throw. And Jones has it over the middle. Whoosh. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A huge play there for Denver. And even 40 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So they're operating in the red zone.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at the home of the champs, Sports Authority Field in Denver. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw again. Surveying the field. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Well, partner, the hit sure looks like a simple route, but I think the issue with it is a lot of time when you're making that play, you're actually working your way back inside towards traffic.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Todd Gurley, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos get a bit closer.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. So now you look at the numbers, and what has caused this dip here, back-to-back games now?
Well, partner, we know this is a copycat league, and we just know that they watch the game film, and they just decided to put the same game plan into effect. And so far, he hasn't found a way to solve things, and they're not going to change up.
And got his man complete. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that, but a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
This will be caught just inside the 10. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position. It's actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more.
And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Ryan Tannehill, his first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This is taken near the 13. What a spin. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And coming out now, the Broncos. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got two more to use here in the final stages. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Rashad Jennings trots back out there as he gets set to go. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense.
Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Four down. All right, here we go. Blue landed. Check. Blue landed. Check.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it, and they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and short. And now they're in the hurry up. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's got time. Over the middle, he's got Tyrell Williams. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Back to throw now on 1st down. Dumps it off to Gurley. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make it a 2nd down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Back to throw again. He's got time in the pocket. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. And they've got an extra defensive back out there now on 3rd and 13. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. It's caught. Jones. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
Green 39. Green 39.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. And this will likely be the last play and wrap things up.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. Well, Charles, stepping back from this one a moment, no matter who's on the field, it's always tough to come in here and beat a team that's the defending champs, but they were able to get it done.
Weren't they 10-0 overall in this stadium?
If you include the playoffs, 8-0 regular season.
Yeah, I mean, that's really fantastic. And you're not just beating them, you're beating a crowd that's always behind their team, and you're beating altitude as well. That's a big victory.
So for the Falcons, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for Denver, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head down to San Diego for a matchup with the Chargers. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, everyone, as we say so long from Denver.